Hello, dear Leo soul. I'm Luna Celestine, and today I want to speak to the part of you that has been sensing something in the air, something unspoken but unmistakably present. The rhythm of your days may feel familiar, but beneath the surface, the universe is already shifting. This Thursday, July 24th, is not just a day, it's a doorway, and whether or not you're ready, it's opening. This new moon doesn't arrive with noise. It doesn't need to. It slips into your life the way water seeps through cracks in stone, slowly, silently, but with the power to reshape everything. It doesn't ask for rituals or declarations. It simply begins. And you, Leo, who has grown so used to anchoring yourself in what feels safe and steady, may find yourself standing on ground that suddenly wants to move. This is not a threat, it's an invitation. The universe is not breaking what you've built. It's asking whether you're ready to step into what you've truly outgrown. What's coming is deeply personal. Not dramatic on the outside, but undeniable on the inside. You'll feel it not through fireworks, but through clarity. A quiet moment when something you've tolerated suddenly feels too heavy, or a long-forgotten desire begins whispering again with new urgency. That is the current pulling you forward, not to undo you, but to realign you. And Leo, I know how deeply you crave peace, but sometimes peace isn't about stillness. It's about finally listening to the part of you that has been waiting to move. This Thursday marks a sacred inflection point, a thinning of the veil between who you've been and who you're becoming. And the shift won't wait. It won't check if you've mapped it out perfectly. It will respond to your readiness, not logical, not planned, but felt. The kind of readiness that says, I don't know exactly what this is, but I trust what's rising. Because what's rising now, Leo, is you. And this is just the beginning. Let's walk deeper into what this change truly means. And Leo, this is where it gets real. The kind of change that's happening now doesn't announce itself with fire and thunder. It hums beneath the surface, quiet but undeniable. You won't need a ritual. You won't need to script a perfect affirmation, because this new moon isn't waiting for your performance. It's already rewriting your inner code. Like a door you never noticed suddenly swinging open in the corner of a room you thought you knew. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It moves when it feels your willingness. And Leo, no one knows how to carry courage in their chest like you do. This moment is a divine intersection, a crossing point between potential and timing, between instinct and preparation. And while you may still be sorting through doubts or unfinished emotions, the energy doesn't care about perfection. It rewards authenticity. What's shifting now has been trying to move for a while. Projects, ideas, conversations that kept getting delayed may suddenly surge forward, not because you pushed harder, but because you finally stopped blocking your own power. There's a magnetic pull unfolding, and those who follow that tug, without waiting for certainty, will find themselves in places they didn't dare imagine. Leo, this isn't about leaping into chaos, it's about surrendering into a clarity that doesn't come with explanations. You may not be able to articulate why something feels right, but that inner knowing, the quiet conviction in your belly, is enough. And when you trust it, truly trust it, the momentum becomes undeniable. You are being moved toward the version of your life that fits, not because it's louder, but because it's finally true. This is not the time to overanalyze. This is the time to respond, to take one clear step, even if it's small, in the direction of your inner resonance. Because the universe isn't judging how prepared you are. It's responding to how aligned you are. And when you move in that kind of alignment, Leo, even your silence becomes powerful. Even your stillness has weight. What opens now will not stay open forever. It's a narrow passage, a holy window, and those who walk through it without second guessing will be met on the other side with the kind of confirmation that doesn't require applause. It just feels right. And that, for you, is more than enough. And Leo, this new moon isn't just shaking the emotional ground, it's pressing into something even more raw, more personal. Your relationship with abundance, not the glamorous performative kind, but the quiet, foundational sense of knowing that you are allowed to receive without proving, that you are worthy even when no one is watching. This moment is going to reveal a truth you've been circling for years, that wealth was never about effort alone. It's always been about belief, and somewhere along the way you absorbed a story that said you had to push harder, be louder, give more than anyone else just to earn the bare minimum. That story, it's cracking now. Not violently, but in a way you can't unhear once the whisper lands. You might catch it in a passing comment. You might feel it in the way you suddenly pause before agreeing to something that undervalues your worth. A small shift, maybe even invisible to others. But for you, it's a tectonic move. That's how it starts. The unlearning, the remembering, the moment when you stop treating money like a reward you need permission to touch, and start realizing it's simply an extension of your alignment. The more you step into your true energy, the you that doesn't shrink, doesn't overgive, doesn't wait for validation, the more flow begins to return. Not just financially, but creatively, emotionally, spiritually. Abundance shows up when you stop negotiating your value. This isn't about fantasy. This is about frequency. You're not waiting for a miracle. You are becoming the open channel that invites one in. And the moment that inner shift clicks, your outer world will respond faster than it ever has. Conversations that used to go nowhere suddenly feel easy. Offers that once felt out of reach begin landing. You're not faking confidence anymore. You're living from a place that no longer doubts whether you deserve more. It knows. That's the difference. That's the vibration that moves mountains. So Leo, if the money isn't flowing yet, ask yourself gently, not what am I doing wrong, but what belief am I still holding that says I have to earn it the hard way? And when you find that belief, even just one thread of it, don't argue with it, just let it loosen, let it fall. Because what replaces it isn't just income, it's a new posture, a new clarity, a new sense of what you're actually here to receive. And when that happens, the universe doesn't hesitate, it delivers, not out of luck, but because you finally stopped getting in your own way. And Leo, once the financial thread begins to untangle, once that inner block finally cracks and abundance starts flowing with more ease than effort, you'll notice something else happen, something even deeper. Your entire field begins to shift. Because money was never just about security for you. It's always been tied to something much more sacred. Your ability to express, to shine, to lead, to live unapologetically. And when that energy starts moving, it doesn't stay in the bank account. It radiates outward into every part of your life. The connections that once felt heavy or performative begin to fall away. The career path that once made sense on paper might suddenly feel too small. The version of you that spent years trying to be understood finally begins to feel seen. And not because you changed who you were, but because you stopped hiding the parts of you that carried the most light. This is the domino effect of realignment, Leo. When one layer of your life starts to move, the others follow. Not because you pushed them to, but because they were always waiting for permission. And the permission they needed wasn't external, it was your clarity. When you stop questioning your worth, people around you do too. When you stop shrinking your vision, the right opportunities find you. When you start speaking with the authority of someone who knows their value, the world listens without interruption. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you'll look in the mirror and recognize what's been there all along. Someone powerful, but soft. Someone fierce, but deeply attuned. Someone who no longer has to prove anything to be allowed to take up space. This is not about becoming someone new. This is about returning to your core self, the one who never needed fixing, only witnessing. And Leo, once that happens, something miraculous unfolds. The right people begin to find you, not because you chase them, not because you market yourself better, but because your frequency is finally clear. No more static, no more misalignment, no more being seen through the wrong lens. The recognition that comes now won't be surface level. It will feel deep. It will feel earned, not by hustle, but by integrity. And the love, collaboration, and support that show up from this point forward, they won't drain you. They'll reflect you. You're no longer performing for approval. You're magnetizing from truth. And that's when life begins to feel not just abundant, but right. And Leo, here's where the tempo changes. Because we're no longer in the season of waiting. The universe isn't operating on delay anymore. This is immediate response territory, and the signals you send out now are being echoed back with uncanny precision. That means vague desires bring vague results. Half-hearted steps lead nowhere. But clarity moves mountains. The more direct you are with your energy, what you want, what you believe, what you claim, the faster things begin to shift. The conversation lands, the offer shows up, the door opens, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it fully. And Leo, you'll know this shift has landed when your confidence stops coming from what you can prove and starts flowing from what you simply are. You won't need to pitch yourself, persuade the room, or explain your worth anymore. You'll walk into a space and your presence alone will shift the tone. Why? Because real confidence doesn't speak loudly. It doesn't need to. It speaks from stillness, from self-trust, from the quiet, rooted knowing that you are no longer here to chase approval. You are here to embody truth. This is what the new moon is sharpening inside you. Not just momentum, but a kind of energetic authority that can't be faked. You're not trying anymore, Leo. You're simply becoming the version of yourself that the world has always felt, but maybe didn't fully see. Until now. And now that they do, everything starts to move. Fast. So as we close this space together, Leo, I want to leave you with this. Because I know you felt it. Something deep within you has already shifted. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. And from this point forward, you're not waiting for a green light from the world. You are the green light. This new moon didn't come to inspire a temporary high. It came to reroute your path towards something truer. And the clarity you've touched in this moment, it's not going to fade. It's going to anchor you. You're not chasing your power anymore. You're living in it. So if something is calling you to leap, to trust, to finally act on what you've always known, you don't need more time. You need to decide. And when you do, the universe won't hesitate to meet you where you stand. Until next time, I'm Luna Celestine. Trust what you feel. Trust what's rising. And above all, trust yourself. You're not behind. You're right on time.